Do characters in stories belong in larger-than-life boxes? Now, this is kind of my thoughts after basically a whole bunch of stuff that I've been thinking about recently kind of came together and made me question something. So this may be a bit of a different video, but I wanted to put it out there and kind of pose this question if people want to discuss it a bit more. But anyway, I'm going to share some of my thoughts about it. Because the thing is, real people don't really belong in boxes, even though sometimes people may be extremely comfortable in those boxes. It's like their comfort zone or their routine that they really liked, and it's established, it's firm, it's solid, it's a foundation. It's, again, their comfort zone. They're happy to stay in there, and they may resist any change to get them out of the boxes. But other times, there are people who want to put us into boxes. They want us to meet their expectations for how we should live, how we should act, and so on and so forth. Now, the thing is that that is their opinion. So there's kind of saying is we don't actually belong in those boxes, the stereotypes they want to assign to us. At least most people don't. Some people do fit into boxes. They basically are what you see. And that's fine, but a lot of us also have these inconsistencies, these nuances, these inconsistencies that appear at first. And then maybe those aren't really inconsistencies as much as more layers that make perfect sense when you really know where they come from. Now, the thing is that those kind of nuances really come out over time. You get to know those little things that don't really match up as you get to know someone. So in a situation like a movie where you have basically 2 hours to introduce a character and make you feel something about them, their traits may actually end up being played up. So like, if a character is supposed to be the good guy, you'll have all their positive traits exemplified and played up larger than life. Whereas if someone's supposed to be a bad guy, you may have all their evil traits played up and so forth. You don't really see them doing their day-to-day things. You just see them as the climax of their stories in a sense, or at a highlight of their lives, so to speak. Even in like a romantic comedy, you would have something where their traits are sort of on display since they're getting to know each other. So there's reason for more of their traits to be on display. But there's also the fact in that those little inconsistencies can end up taking an audience member out of the story. So they may have been following along, but then it's like, wait a minute, that doesn't really add up. Why would the character do that when everything I know is like that? So part of that is that the writer may actually know the history of a character, but the audience doesn't always know that. And there's this little thing, show versus tell, that comes into play with stories. And that generally it's better to show a character doing something. And then there's the same where if you want to establish someone as a good guy, you show them doing good. If you want to establish someone as a bad guy, you show them doing bad. You don't just say, oh, this person is good, this person is bad. So there's kind of that thing, but when we get into those little things where it's like, generally this person would act one way, but due to this certain reason, they're going to act this way this time. And there may be like a perfect good reason due to their family history, their genealogy, whatever, that the writer knows, but the audience may not know. So then it becomes a bit of an inconsistency on why did they do that. And now sometimes it can be justified, or you may have to have a bit of a monologue going on about, okay, why did I just do this? I don't know what happened. They may actually acknowledge it that they don't really know what happened or why it happened. And a case in point of kind of telling, or when you might have to tell something, would be a specific fear. Like, let's say someone just doesn't do spiders. So you may just show them avoiding spiders, or you may be implying it through certain things, even though they're generally competent in most other areas. But you may also introduce it at an improper time, like you're showing them being extremely competent and fearless all throughout it, but then they encounter a spider and it's like, wah! So it's like that doesn't really track with the audience, so you might have the character have to mention, like, I just don't do spiders, or whatever it is. So there's a bit of a telling that has to go on with that so that the character remains logically consistently. But then again, maybe I'm thinking too hard on this and it's just something not really needed to worry about. But anyway, it was just something that I was kind of thinking and musing on, so I wanted to pose that question and put it out there if anyone wants to discuss it. So feel free to in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, you can like and share it so that others may enjoy it as well. And you can also subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this. Anyway, I'm Jonah, and you've been watching Lion's Mane Media, where we celebrate stories and the lessons we learn from them. Talk to you later, and have a great rest of your day.